And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Tuesday, July 25th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome here on a Tuesday morning. The sun is shining, and we welcome you to our program. Of course, it is presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. I want to start off reminding you about the second annual Free Sports Medicine Conference in Wilson County. It's coming up this Saturday, July 29th from 8 to 10 at Lebanon High School. As team physicians in Wilson County, Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital strives to create the safest environment possible for our athletes, coaches, and parents. And you will receive hands-on training that includes emergency action plans, heat injuries, concussion, head injury, AEDs, fractures and dislocations, and information on how to stop the bleeding. And there's more. The faculty includes sports medicine physicians who cover Wilson County High School sports, and they include Dr. Alex Diamond, Dr. Lance LeClaire, Dr. Patel, and others. And again, this Saturday, July 29th, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Lebanon High School, 500 Blue Devil Boulevard here in Lebanon. And we'd also like to remind you that colon cancer is the second deadliest cancer in the U.S. In recent years, colon cancer is being detected in younger people at higher rates. Colon cancer does not show symptoms, but it may cause frequent stomach pain, blood in the stool, and unexpected weight loss. Here's 5 habits to help prevent colon cancer. 1. Exercise regularly and maintain a healthy weight. 2. Incorporate lots of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains into your diet. 3. Limit your intake of red meat and animal fats. 4. Don't smoke tobacco and limit how much alcohol you drink. 5. Make sure you're getting enough vitamin D. In addition to these habits, it's important to get regularly screened for colon cancer. The American Cancer Society recommends people with an average risk for colorectal cancer start regular screening at age 45. For more information, you can visit VanderbiltWilsonCountyHospital.com. Well, I'm going to the telephone this morning, and Justin Beasley is on the line. He is the Public Information Officer for the City of Mount Juliet, and we're going to be talking Mount Juliet today, as we do a couple of times each month. Justin, good morning.
Always excited to talk about Mount Juliet. Good morning, Coleman. Sorry I'm not there. Just provide some context and background to this. Usually it's traffic or I've got to be somewhere. Today I have to be at the Mount Juliet Morning Rotary. I'm a member of the Morning Rotary and the Noon Rotary within Mount Juliet as far as the city representation goes. Well, this morning we're actually going to have the mayor present 2 surprise proclamations, and they're surprised because these gentlemen are inside of the meeting. They're not listening to this program that I know of, so it shouldn't come as a surprise to them. Ray Render, as you know, the Deputy District Director for Congressman John Rose, was a huge help in our inaugural Ray Daniel Cruise-In that we had at our Mount Juliet Parks on July 15th. We'll present a proclamation to him and one to Ray Daniel himself, who we were able to use his name, image, and likeness for our inaugural Cruise-In. So the mayor is going to attend that this morning. I will take some photos near the end of the day. So I'm going to knock out 2 birds in 1 stone, but we won't forget about you, Coleman.
All right. Well, I'm glad you were able to tell us who the recipients are going to be. And, of course, anybody, I think, that knows Ray Render, loves Ray Render, and appreciates what he does for Congressman John Rose.
Absolutely. I like to give him a lot of grief just because he's a lovable personality. So speak for yourself on saying everybody loves him, Coleman.
Well, his wife does for sure. What do we need to talk about this morning?
Yeah, so I guess we can piggyback off July 15th. You know, we had another great turnout for our Celebrate Mount Juliet presented by Volunteer State Bank. It was once again, a big city celebration. It was our 51st anniversary, if you want to technically consider it. You know, we had Oliver Steele, the Cedar Creek Boys, Cherie Hefner, War Hippies with Scooter Brown and Donnie Reese were our headliners. We had the foam party out. We had the inaugural Ray Daniel Cruise-In, as I mentioned. Tons of inflatables, 14 food trucks, all at Charlie Daniels Park. Again, we were very pleased with how everything turned out. A couple of people probably stayed home due to the threat of rain. 2 Saturdays ago, it was raining heavily that morning.
Right.
Cleared up for the rest of the day. Rained for about 10 minutes from about 6:50 to 7, which really cooled off everybody, to be honest. Nobody went home. We didn't have to put anybody inside the community center. So really the good Lord looked after us that day as far as the weather was concerned. And, next year we're looking to celebrate the 52nd. This is something that we partner with Volunteer State Bank to do and to provide our citizens, and the citizens seem to love it. So we'll keep supporting it out of our parks budget as well. And man, it's the best Saturday of the year, specifically in Mount Juliet, and we couldn't be happier. Rocky Lee, Sean Glover, Tina Burris, our commissioners, our city manager, Kenny Martin, all did a fantastic job helping to organize and provide resources in order to grow a party that was worthy and up to the standard of what Mount Juliet has become.
Well, events like this tend to bring a community together, and you've done this successfully now for 2 years, so I guess why not continue?
Absolutely, and that's the way we look at it. It's a way to celebrate the city, also show some love to Volunteer State Bank. Again, it's on this program 2 weeks ago. They came to us. They knew we were going to have to celebrate 50 years in some way. They came to us. They wanted to attach their name to it, so we keep getting bigger and bigger performances on the amphitheater stage. We keep getting more food trucks. We got a cruise in. So we're always trying to figure out ways to better improve this event. Next year we might do something in September just because, we had a July 15th event. We also had a July 4th event. That's a lot in a 2-week span, not only for the organizers such as myself and Rocky Lee and everyone else, but you also got to think of just moms and dads getting ready for the school year. That's a lot of events for them as well. So we might space that out a little bit more. Might push this Celebrate Mount Juliet event into September. I know we might be competing with UT football then, but there's nothing. We're not afraid of any challenge. We've had events on UT football game days, and they turned out just fine. So if you're a listener in Mount Juliet, listen to the Coleman Walker Show. We like to provide exclusive content for Coleman, just like we did earlier this morning on the proclamation. Just know we might move this event to September, and don't be surprised. You heard it here first.
All right, let me ask you, did you have a Board of Commissioners meeting last night?
Yes, sir. And it was brief. I tell you what, we were out of there in 50 minutes. I was able to get home and see my son before he went to bed. The biggest thing from that meeting, and Coleman, I know we're up against the break. I don't have enough time to really dive into this much. We approved a couple of things, but the biggest thing, and I'd like to talk about it on the other side of the break if it's possible, we passed a resolution for our city manager, for us as the BOC, the elected body, the 5 commissioners, sign him into a new contract. As you know, Kenny Martin has been the city manager for north of 12 years now, and we have agreed to, and it was the easiest decision. It was no debate. It was all praises for him to sign him on for another X amount of years to lead our city, to be our CEO, as Commissioner Scott Hefner said. So that was the biggest thing last night, and it's good to get that out of the way because there's so many other things that can get in the way. You can forget about it. Kenny Martin's future is secure in Mount Juliet for a good time, and that's good because he's secured our future within the walls of Mount Juliet for so long, and it's the least we can do. We're certainly blessed to have him leading our city.
All right, we're going to take a break right here. Justin Beasley, Public Information Officer for the City of Mount Juliet, my guest this morning, and we'll talk to him more after we go to this break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:13. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, and that regular oil change is $39.95 up to 5-course oil, tax and disposal. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still a little bit of rubbernecking going on from an earlier wreck as people drive by there on 40 westbound at Briley Parkway over near the airport. Traffic's just really busy this time of the morning coming up through Brentwood, Franklin on 65. Going northbound is still wanting to run a little bit slow. Right on schedule actually on 24 through the Hickory Hollow area. You've got all that traffic coming in right now from Rutherford County. Princess Hot Chicken is catering. Check out that awesome menu today. You can order online at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Mike Keith, voice of your Tennessee Titans. With 11 national tournament appearances in this past season, it's obvious that Cumberland University athletics continues to rise above expectations. Join me and Cumberland University for the launch of their Athletics Phoenix Foundation and the ribbon cutting for their football complex renovations on Thursday, July the 27th at 8:30 a.m. at Noakes Lassiter Field in Lebanon, Tennessee. Help us rise together and support transformative football facility enhancements as we impact the lives of our local community, college athletes, and future Cumberland University Phoenix. Learn more at cumberland.edu/Phoenix Foundation. Again, that's cumberland.edu/Phoenix Foundation. Cumberland University, where champions rise together.
Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing has experienced new leadership and a new atmosphere. Same location in the heart of Lebanon, 731 Castle Heights Court on the Castle Heights campus. Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing is providing 5-star clinical outcomes to short-term and long-term care residents. Call 615-444-4319 for a tour and to experience the new culture. Renewal happens here at Lebanon Center for Rehabilitation and Healing. Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. And let me mention, I think I forgot to when we began this morning, but yesterday I was not here. I want to thank Judge Barry Tatum for filling in for me. He does such an excellent job and so willingly comes whenever we need him. And my need for him yesterday, yes, he probably said I was on special assignment. My special assignment yesterday was getting a new pacemaker, or they say new batteries. The new one comes with new batteries, and I'm told now that I ought to be good for another 10 years. But that's what was happening about this time 24 hours ago. Dr. Olivier over at Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital was changing out my pacemaker. Everything went fine, and I'm here and very happy to be all set to go for however long it is. Justin Beasley is still with us. He's on the phone speaking from Mount Juliet this morning. And get back into last night's meeting and this that you did. It involves your city manager.
Yes, sir. Basically, if you're just now joining us on the Coleman Walker Show, just want to let you know that we have, agreed to a resolution last night to extend the contract of our city manager, Kenny Martin. He's been at the city for 11 years. And if you know anything about overall government and how it works, basically the 5 commissioners are the elected bodies. They make up the votes for all the big decisions that come before the board. The city manager does not have a vote. He runs the day-to-day activities. So he'll oversee certain departments, and everything basically falls on him. He is the CEO in a way and answers to a board. Well, he's been there for 11 years. Most city managers are really in spots 3, 4, 5 years, and then they're off somewhere else. The special thing about Kenny is not only is he Mount Juliet through and through, but he serves our citizens and he serves our board so well that he stayed there for such a long time. So that 11 years is going to be extended to, I wouldn't be surprised, 14, 15, and really however long he wants to stay as the CEO. It's a passion for him. Yes, it's a job, but it's a passion. He's got so much respect. As you know, Coleman, from him being on the show so many times, he's also our economic development director. He's our former police chief, and there's no better man for such a time as this to lead Mount Juliet, and that's why it was a unanimous decision by our Board of Commissioners last night, 5-0, to sign that resolution and get him on the books for quite some time, Coleman.
Well, you've got to know him quite well, I think, while you have been at Mount Juliet, and I'm thinking, how long have you been there? 2 years yet? It's in that neighborhood, isn't it?
In September, yes, sir. It'll be 2 years.
Okay.
But yes, sir. Applies.
And maybe in a lot of ways, not only Kenny Martin, but some of the others have given you really quite an initiation. But along with that, in a loving way, I think. But you have been picked on a little bit, a lot actually.
Absolutely, and sometimes they beat me down, and I got to go with it. And sometimes they're like, "Hey, if the day we don't pick on you, that's when you need to be worried, because that means we don't love you anymore." But hey, I mean, that's trial by fire. That's the way I love it. I personally, that's the way I show love, is picking on people, as my wife very fully understands. So I enjoy it. You know, Kenny, a man of high integrity. He's led our city for so long. You know, many people know of him as walking up and down North Mount Juliet Road about 3 or 4 o'clock, which I hope to do with him today. He picks up trash. He leads by example. And I said it last night. You know, I'll give credit where it's due. Police Chief James Hambert, Captain Tyler Chandler of our police department, and myself, you know, we got up there and we heaped praise on Kenny Martin during the citizen comments. And I kind of got upset with Captain. Said, "Hey, I'm going to go up there and speak." And I said, "Captain, you go up there to speak for Kenny and he praised on him because his contract's up tonight." And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Man, if you're getting up there to heap praise on him, I'm getting on that train too." So gave him his flowers, and they were very much due. And then our commissioners got up there and he praised on him as well. It was a great evening, and he said it was the best night ever, just because, you know, he's a city manager. He puts out fires all the time. He hears about the bad stuff. He's got to fix things around the city. He don't hear the praise as much as we should really do that with any and everybody in our society. And, you know, Ray Justice and our mayor kind of, you know, they really wanted to defer the topic just to stress them out a little bit, but they said after all the good comments, you know, the threat of deferring all that was out of the air. So they couldn't pick on him as much as they wanted to last night, Coleman.
I'm just sitting here thinking, if y'all ever need to have a really good fundraiser in Mount Juliet, maybe you ought to just roast Kenny Martin. How's that for an idea?
Hey, I like that. That's something I can get behind. It was the opposite of a roast last night, I promise you that. But, you know, the man's also got some guns on him, and he's very healthy, very in shape. So maybe some kind of he could do a boxing match, though. You know, he doesn't have any enemies in the city. Everybody loves him as Commissioner Ray Justice does. He played Kumbaya on his YouTube just because Kenny Martin is all about let's get along to get along. And hey, that's, you know, we joke about it, but that's a part of his success. You know, a lot of times CEOs, as Scott Hefner said last night, our commissioner have bad attitudes, and it permeates throughout the building. His is full of joy, full of laughter, even though he has a high, demanding, stressful job. And, you know, you will not be able to tell the city of Mount Juliet's history without Kenny Martin and how instrumental he's been to our success.
Okay, I am wondering, is anything else, by the way, anything else from last night's meeting that worthy of our discussion this morning?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Well, I was just going to ask, I mean, you have a commission. They don't all agree all the time, but there are a lot of 5-0 votes. But what anything earth-shaking or any big thing coming up maybe from now to the end of the year, next 6 months or something that you see on the horizon?
Yeah, you know, we mentioned this a little bit on the last program, and I'll mention it again here. You know, we're experimenting a little bit with our food truck ordinance in Mount Juliet. We've actually opened up a job as far as a food truck compliance officer that will go around and make sure all of our food trucks within our city limits are following the rules. Our last meeting, we passed a 6-month pilot that basically says if you do not pay business tax in the city of Mount Juliet and you run a food truck, if you bring that food truck from the city of Mount Juliet, we're going to demand that you pay $100 per day to park that in the city limits and make money. Now, here's the catch. If you live in Mount Juliet, you pay business tax in Mount Juliet, and you have a food truck, that goes to just $100 a year. So basically what our commission has decided on is, hey, we're not going to say no to food trucks outside of our domicile, but if you bring that here, you're going to have some skin in the game and pay some, business tax. Now, if you live here, you're going to have to pay a little bit as well, but we will invite you and we'll have certain areas for you to set up. Now, this also protects our brick and mortars too, because that is what made Mount Juliet so great, as far as us being so dependent on our sales tax, et cetera, but it also gives room for food trucks to try to make a living as well, and do it where we give them some freedom, but we also protect our brick and mortars as well. So that'll be something to keep an eye out on. Again, that's a 6-month pilot after we hire this food truck compliance officer. It'll be really interesting to see, because a lot of people in HOAs say, hey, we have newborns, it's really hard to get out, go eat, sit down. Why can't they come to our HOA? That now gives them the freedom to do that a little bit more. Of course, Charlie Daniels Park can have food trucks as well for special events. Now, you can't go park it beside Houston's meat market. That would be rude if you were in that parking lot. We obviously don't allow something of that nature, but giving them just a little bit more freedom, Coleman. As you know, food trucks really kind of the wave of the future with really all age groups. We really love us some food trucks.
All right, I'm going to switch gears just a little bit. It occurred to me that even, I guess, by the next time you and I talk, school will have started, and I know that you've got construction going on the second school that the tornado damaged. First one got built back and is operating, but the other one, do you keep tabs on that very much? And how, I know the city fathers there have to at least be aware and somewhat concerned about when and how everything's going to work out when it gets finished.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the school is, it's going to take some time. I mean, building a school is not the most difficult thing as far as infrastructure is concerned, but, I think that school is pretty close to being done. I don't want to speak for the Wilson County schools and give out a date and be wrong. I do that enough with our own city of Mount Juliet stuff, but when you talk about the builders of that school, they are ahead of the game. I know they got Stoner Creek up about 4 months early, so I expect that they would do the same thing with West Wilson Middle School. And, we're certainly going to be glad for that, because a lot of students have been displaced to, Mount Juliet Middle or any other school that you can think of from those tornadoes back in March of 2020. So certainly excited to see that. And speaking of school, this Wednesday, and I'm sure Mark Hinesley has said this on the program a couple of times, this Wednesday, starting at about 7 a.m. at most schools, and there's a sign-up genius on the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce Facebook. We're going to invite the teachers back. Now, students aren't coming back on Wednesday, the teachers are, and we're all going to join with other Chamber of Commerces within Wilson County and also everyone's Wilson. We're going to invite those teachers back. We're going to have We Love Our Teachers and Wilson County signs. We're going to provide them encouragement, provide them support, and really just hopefully brighten their day a little bit as they go into the school year. Our teachers are under attack from so many different areas in 2023. So if we can step alongside them and provide them anything we can, we certainly want to do that. I feel like it's the least we can do, and we certainly hope they have a great school year. Not only Wilson County schools, but Lebanon Special School District, homeschool parents, you name it. They're instrumental in these young minds' lives.
Well, we got about 2 minutes left here, and just was wondering, as I don't even want to think of summer winding down, but when school starts, we sort of think in those terms. But how's parks and recreation and that sort of thing gone this summer in Mount Juliet?
Recreation's gone good, and Coleman, I'll jump into that argument. My wife and I get into this argument every year. Just because school is starting back does not mean summer is over. I think summer started June 21st. That means summer break is over. But last time I checked, we have a heat wave this week. So I love going to the pool, going to the lake. Summer is not even halfway over. So let's not think of it that way. But recreation's good. We just had a pickleball tournament at Charlie Daniels Park this past weekend, Hamilton Denton Park, which is near Victory Baptist Church in Kate Lane in Mount Juliet, for many people that are familiar with that. That will be done soon. There'll be recreational fields and, fields that maybe companies can borrow for team building. That will be done soon. Mundy Park, as you know, has new pickleball courts as well. And I was heading home late one night. I forget what night it was. And Coleman, it was Sunday night. And it was 10 o'clock at night. I kid you not. And the pickleball courts were filled. And I'm like, what are these people doing? They are crazy over some pickleball. So if I would say recreation is great, it's never been better in Mount Juliet. They are using it at literally all times of the day.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being with us this morning. And when you go to your meeting, give my regards to Ray Render, if you will. Tell him hello for us.
I will do.
And we will talk to you next time. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. All right. That is Justin Beasley. He is the Public Information Officer for the city of Mount Juliet. And that's part one of Coleman and Company, of course, presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. And before I go to the break here, let me just quickly remind you one more time, coming up this Saturday is the second annual Free Sports Medicine Conference in Wilson County, presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, going to be held at Lebanon High School this Saturday, July 29th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Break and more coming up on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, high performance, high horsepower, 0% financing is still a thing. Now is the best time to save on Kubota L-Series tractors, rated #1 for durability and owner experience in the U.S. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We're looking at a crash. It's on 24 eastbound just past Whites Creek Pike up in the Jolton area. It's really aggravating that traffic now that's trying to get in from Clarksville, coming in from the Jolton area again on 24 eastbound. Still running very slow over here by the airport. 40 westbound near Briley Parkway. It's got it slow from Donaldson Pike all the way back, actually to past Stewartsbury Pike. And all that traffic coming in right now from Wilson County. Princess Hot Chicken is catering. Order online, princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck, your on-time traffic.
Where a patient starts their cancer care matters. And here, that means Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, Wilson County. It's Vanderbilt level care without making the drive to Nashville. From screening to diagnosis to treatment and recovery, patients can get all the care they need right here close to home. So now, having the best care team and most advanced treatment is closer than ever. Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, making cancer care personal.
The refreshing cool after coming in from a hot summer day. The perfect temperature to kick off your shoes and relax with a good book. When the weather heats up, a new Rheem AC system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
Expecting sunny skies today, a high near 91. Heat indices could top 100. Mostly clear skies overnight tonight, back down to around 70. Mostly sunny, back up to around 93 for your Wednesday. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. Let's look at your forecast. I'm Stormy Clausen.
And we welcome you to part two of Coleman and Company here on this Tuesday. Time for us to talk about Northside Senior Living, which is located at 215 Castle Heights Avenue North in Lebanon. I got information from Sean Dozier, the executive director, yesterday that he would not be able to be with us this morning. And he wanted me to just spend our 5 or 6 minutes talking about Hearthside, which I'm going to do. We like to say about Hearthside Senior Living, Hearthside when it's time for a helping hand. And Hearthside Senior Living is a retirement and assisted living community. As we say on their commercial, welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, a senior living community right here in the heart of Lebanon. Hearthside is rooted in ministry, serving senior citizens who desire a safe and beautiful environment with a Christian community. Hearthside was started by College Hills Church of Christ in 1994. Actually, it was College Street Church of Christ in 1994, now College Hills. It continues to be a vibrant ministry of the church. Hearthside Senior Living includes assisted living and an independent retirement community. Now, as far as the independent retirement community goes, there is a big waiting list, and we've talked about this a number of times. If you even thinking about wanting to be there even 5 years from now, it would probably be a good idea to get on the waiting list. That's how popular the place really is. The assisted living community is a beautiful chalet-like atmosphere with large dining and activity spaces, including small, medium, and large resident rooms. The assisted living community's mission is to serve seniors in our community who need additional assistance with their everyday routines. The assisted living community has been a blessing to many residents and families. The independent retirement community, as most of you know, is a collection of 30 homes. They're designed for seniors to age in place in a safe and comfortable environment for many years. And it does include some of the perks that people in the assisted living community have. The residents have access to a clubhouse with a full kitchen and a large entertainment area. Independent community residents are welcome, as I was saying, to have breakfast, lunch, or dinner in the assisted living dining room for a minimal price. And the independent retirement community I think they've taken all the space they have for homes that can be built right there. But all of this is located in the heart of Lebanon, Tennessee. It's on the historic Castle Heights Military Academy campus, and Hearthside Senior Living phone number is 615-443-1994, 1994 being the year that it was all started. And their website, www.hearthsideliving.com. You can check out weekly updates on Facebook at Hearthside Senior Living of Lebanon. So if you would like a personal tour, really all you have to do is show up. If you want to schedule one, give them a call, and they will be glad to schedule a personal tour for you. But Sean Dozier, Executive Director, enjoys people just coming in anytime, and he's glad to show off this great nonprofit assisted living place. It's been voted best in Wilson County many times. It, of course, locally owned and managed, and they are here each Tuesday. I don't have a Hearthside hello this morning. I guess I could make up one, but I won't. We'll save the next one for Sean when hopefully he will be with us next week. Hearthside Senior Living, Retirement and Assisted Living Community, 215 Castle Heights Avenue North in Lebanon. And again, that phone number is 615-443-1994. All right, it is time for us to introduce the guest for part 2 this morning, and that is Dr. Hadel Patel with Lebanon Family Pharmacy, and she's going to come to us on the phone this morning. Dr. Patel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, fine. It's good to hear your voice. Glad to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll remind everybody your pharmacy is located at 1311 West Main in Lebanon, down there in a fairly large shopping center, and with spacious parking all over. I don't think anybody that comes to see you has any problem parking. You've always got some parking available, right?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. We have plenty of parking here.
That's one of the things that you don't have to worry about, I guess. Of course, your telephone number, if anybody wants to write this down, 615-547-9556, 9556, Lebanon Family Pharmacy. So, what's on your mind today? What do you want to start out with?
Actually, we don't have a lot going on at the pharmacy itself. So, we're still doing prescriptions. We're still doing regular vaccinations and consults that we're doing. Not anything new to report, but definitely just, wanted to let people know that we're still here. Still think about us. We are a small business, and any support is really, really helpful for us to survive.
Well, you have had a lot of information for us from time to time when you have been on, and I think it's right and safe and correct to say that you do things a little bit different. You've always emphasized community service and doing what's best for the people that come to take advantage of your services.
Yes, absolutely. So we always tell people that our consults will never cost you money. Doesn't matter if you transfer your prescriptions to our pharmacy or not. You can always come by and have a chat with us. It doesn't matter, if it's about your prescription medicines or if it's about a health question that you have, or if it's about, supplements or vitamins that you are wanting to start to take. I always tell people that, prevention is better than cure. So we would like to prevent a disease state from advancing to a point where we would need to cure the disease or try to treat it. And we always try to prevent it first. So there's a lot of products that are natural products that we offer at the pharmacy. And if you want to talk about them or if you have a question, you can always stop by or give us a call. We're always available.
One of the things that I guess that's impressed me in doing interviews with you, we've been doing for quite some time now, is the how much you really know, and I wonder sometimes if you have really elaborated enough. Maybe tell people. I know most of us don't like to just brag about ourselves or want to be so much in the limelight all the time. But I think your background and the studies that you have done, you have a wealth of information about food, about what works, what doesn't work, and using natural products to enhance oneself as well as prescription drugs.
Yes, absolutely. And I actually just had that conversation yesterday with one of our patients. They're a new patient that are going to come to our pharmacy, and they told me the same thing. They're like, you don't sound like any other pharmacist that I have met. And I, shared a little bit with the patient that the school that I graduated from pharmacy school is an interprofessional school. So what that means is that the first 3 years of college that we finish is interprofessional with other professions. So we had medical school, we had physician assistants, we had podiatrists, we had nurse practitioners, we had a lot of healthcare professions that took classes together the first 3 years. And then the last year is your rotation year where everybody goes out and does their respective rotation. After the 4 years of school, you get a doctorate degree, and then medical doctors proceed to their residencies and fellowships that they're going to pursue after that. For pharmacy, you also have that option to do that. But since I wanted to start a family, I decided not to pursue a residency, but instead continue building on my database of knowledge that I have by reading up all the new articles that come out, the studies that they do, also trying to research a little bit more about the natural products that we have that people always end up buying, but sometimes they go by the label that's on the bottle that, oh, this is for memory, or this is for your joints, or this is for inflammation, but they really don't know the chemistry behind how that product works, or that if it's going to interact with the medications that they're taking, or if it's going to interact with the diet that they have currently. So that's something where I can come and play and let them know. We can do a thorough consult, and we can always, let you know what's good for you, or what you're taking, if that is good. I have people come in and bring bottles from online stores that they have ordered from, and they're like, well, I just ordered this. I don't know if it's good for me. So they'll just bring in the bottles. We'll hash out all the ingredients that are on the back of the bottles. And you won't believe the way the marketing works nowadays is that it's, glucosamine, MSM for joints, but they list the chemical name of it on the bottle and make it look like, it's something that's brand new or something that's like, a miracle drug or something like that. But we always hash it out, and I tell them that this is, the same, glucosamine MSM that you've been buying for years, but, probably 4 times more than what it would cost you. So I always let people know what the truth behind everything is.
So if someone is getting stuff through the mail and wondering if that's really good for them, if it's what they're told is, you welcome them to come and let you analyze it, give your opinion?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can walk in any time because you can't really sometimes trust what you get from online stores as well, because there's no restrictions from FDA to, adhere to the labeling standards that the companies have to adhere when they're making a prescription drug or over-the-counter drug. It's not a drug, it's a supplement. So the labeling standards are a little bit different for supplements and vitamins than they are for over-the-counter drugs and prescription drugs. So that's how, a lot of people are getting away with what they're getting away with. So I always like to hash it out with the patients. Also, same thing I mentioned last time as well. We had an interview on Friday about the CBD products and how it can be dangerous. Well, that evening on News Channel 2, I believe, on ABC News, there was a report that came out about how these CBD candies are being packed in little children's candy packets. Like they look like Skittles, or they look like, these gummy bears that they eat, and they're actually CBD gummies and they're CBD Skittles. So, we saw that report, and I was like, oh, I just talked about this morning. So there's a lot of stuff people order online and don't know what they're getting.
Okay, Dr. Hadel Patel, Lebanon Family Pharmacy, is with us this morning. We're going to take a break right here. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. It's $59.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, and safety check. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still running slow from the earlier wreck on 24 eastbound just past Whites Creek High coming in through the Joelton area. And it's still slower than normal out here on 40 westbound coming past the airport. It's all from an earlier wreck we had on 40 west near Briley Parkway. This is delaying some folks coming in right now from Wilson County, arriving here at Hermitage and Donaldson on 40 going westbound. Nash Painting services all of Middle Tennessee. Check out their website at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
This is Mike Keith, voice of your Tennessee Titans. With 11 national tournament appearances in this past season, it's obvious that Cumberland University athletics continues to rise above expectations. Join me and Cumberland University for the launch of their Athletics Phoenix Foundation and the ribbon cutting for their football complex renovations on Thursday, July the 27th at 8:30 a.m. at Noakes Lassiter Field in Lebanon, Tennessee. Help us rise together and support transformative football facility enhancements as we impact the lives of our local community, college athletes, and future Cumberland University Phoenix. Learn more at cumberland.edu/Phoenix Foundation. Again, that's cumberland.edu/Phoenix Foundation. Cumberland University, where champions rise together.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour. And we continue here on this Tuesday morning. Dr. Hadel Patel is with us, Lebanon Family Pharmacy, 1311 West Main. What else would you like to talk about this morning?
Well, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is general, safety and storage of medications as well. So a lot of times we don't realize that, our medications, we have those safety, like lids on them. But sometimes kids they're smart. They can get in the bottles. Sometimes pets can, get into those bottles as well. So we want to make sure that we're storing our medication safely and away from children and pets. Also, with storage conditions, a lot of people store their medications in the cabinets in their bathrooms, which, Tennessee is a humid place. So, and the bathrooms are generally humid as well. So that kind of affects the integrity of the medication itself and the effectiveness of it. A lot of people, will get prescribed antibiotics, which is, a 5-day course or a 7-day course, and they open the bottle, and the pills are huge, but they're all split open and busted open. And they're like, well, what made it do this? And I was like, it's the humidity.
Oh, huh.
So they'll bring it back, and they're like, oh, these pills all just, burst overnight. And I was like, well, it's because you probably didn't store it right. So, that's something a lot of people don't think about. And especially if you're a cash-paying patient that don't have insurance, medications do cost a lot of money. And so we don't want to, get into that situation where you, first of all, need to treat the infection you have in a short time frame, but then you also have to spend more money to get the medication that you no longer can use. So that's something. And then with the children and pets, I always tell people that, they're, part of your heart, and we want to protect them like how we protect them everywhere else, in schools and parks and everywhere. So trying to kind of, store it away from them, like on a higher shelf, is always a better idea. So that's just something that, came up in a conversation with a patient. So I just wanted to share it with all the listeners out here as well.
Right. Well, I've out of curiosity, I've got to ask here, if you have one to burst like you were talking about, is it good? Can you still take it, or is it you need to throw it away?
No, you actually need to dispose it. You can't take it anymore because the way these medications are formulated are a little bit different. Some of these medications have little granules in them that release the medication slowly over time, or some of them have a coating on it which kind of helps you protect the inner linings of your stomach. So there's, different ways. There's a lot of, technology that's involved in making these medications. And so, a lot of times people are like, well, you know what, it's going in the stomach and it's going to get disintegrated anyway, so I'm just going to take it. But it does affect the efficacy of the medication, and it also affects how your inner linings of your stomach, if it's going to be protected or not. So when in doubt, always ask a pharmacist before you take any medications that you feel that, have been tampered with or that has, have been exposed to the nature or anything like that.
Okay. Well, yeah. At least then, before you dispose of it, you could call and make sure that's what you need to do. And if it was okay, then you're that much better off. But you don't want to do something that's going to hurt you. That's for sure.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. And there's, a lot of news going around right now with the new vaccine that has came out for adults, actually. And this is for RSV, which is the respiratory syncytial virus. And a lot of people, when we talk about RSV, think that it's for kids. Well, at first it was. There was the kids' vaccination, and, it was a bigger concern in kids back, in those days. But since COVID, we have seen this virus actually taking a hold of people that are, 60 and over. So, we always talk about vaccinations for pediatric patients, and, there's a certain set of vaccinations that people should get once they're 50, and those include the shingles vaccine, the 65 and over to get the high-dose flu vaccines, and the pneumonia vaccines. Those three are something that I always tell people not to miss on. But now we want to add this RSV vaccine as a fourth one, and, just as a precautionary vaccine, so we can avoid any, underlying conditions. People that have underlying conditions, they're more, prone to get these severe infections. So we want to kind of avoid that. So this is one vaccine that has just recently been approved, and we're still working on trying to get a hold of it. And when it's available, we'll let our patients know and the listeners know as well that, that it is available at the pharmacy. A lot of times people are like, well, I got the pneumonia vaccine, I'll be fine. But pneumonia is a different bug. It's a bacteria that causes infection in your lungs. But RSV is a virus. So the pneumonia vaccine is not going to protect you against the RSV infection. So after a certain age, our immunity tends to go down. So we cannot fight these infections with 100% efficacy as we would have done when we were younger. So that's why it's very, very crucial to get these vaccinations. And the RSV is something that just popped up all of a sudden after COVID, and then we're seeing, so many people get infected and then complications from the infection. So people might not actually die from RSV, but the complications that RSV causes downstream is what causes, patients to be in a critical condition. So that's something that we want to make sure that we make our patients aware of as well. And the RSV symptoms basically mimic itself like as if you have a flu or as if you have COVID. So they can last up to like 2 weeks, and the normal symptoms would be like fever, headaches, runny nose, sore throat, congestion, coughing, or feeling tired all the time.
I want to bring up something here, if you would like. It seems like in the last week or two, I've heard of some people getting COVID, and it's like we'd sort of swept COVID under the rug. Hadn't heard a lot about it, but here lately, I've heard of 2 or 3 that have gotten it again. Is it coming back, or should we be greatly concerned?
Yes, it is coming back, but the strain that's coming back is not the original COVID strain that we have seen or the Omicron strain that we have seen. So I had a few patients recently that their tests were all negative, but they all had COVID symptoms. But all the tests, most of the tests that are out in the market now either have expired or don't have the capacity to test for the new strain that is, doing rounds right now. So tests like the over-the-counter tests right now are not that reliable. So we're kind of telling people to be very cautious about it. If you feel like you have the classic signs and symptoms of COVID, including that losing the ability to taste and smell, is your kind of giveaway that it is a COVID infection, but your test might be negative. And, you just, have to write those symptoms out and then get some, over-the-counter treatment for COVID. There's also Paxlovid available for people that, are higher-risk patients. You can always come to the pharmacy, and the pharmacists have the ability to prescribe Paxlovid now. You don't need a doctor's prescription. There's also, if people choose to take ivermectin for it, that is available luckily in Tennessee by consulting with a pharmacist as well. So we do that here at the pharmacy as well. So if you have any of those questions or any concerns about COVID or RSV or pneumonia or shingles, you can always give the call.
Okay, we've got about 2 minutes left this morning. Anything else in particular you want to devote the time to?
Not anything specific in particular, but I again want to just share this with all of our listeners and people, that are out of town, that anytime you need help regarding healthcare or any questions you have, we are always available. And by, calling us and helping us out, you're actually helping a small business give back to the community as well. A lot of people think that, well, she just wants our business. Well, that's nice. If you give your business, we also help the community in return with that business. And how we do it is by providing free vaccines to all our, uninsured children, pediatric patients. The pediatric vaccination rate has gone drastically down in Tennessee. So we're providing free service to them. We're also providing free multivitamins to all children in Wilson County. And that all comes out of our pocket. Like, we don't get a grant for it or anything. So by helping a small business, you're actually helping the community in return as well.
All right, just describe your location one more time. 1311 West Main, but it's down there close to what?
It's where the Bargain Hunt complex is. So where the Papa John's Pizza and right behind Burger King restaurant. We are located where that nail salon place is. So you just come to the Bargain Hunt complex and keep driving towards the other end of Papa John's, and we're that last location. We can be reached by phone at 615-547-9556, or you can send us an email at lebanonfamilypharmacy@gmail.com. If it's after hours, you can also reach us on Instagram and Facebook. Just send us a message, and we'll always, answer your call. And if you have any other, issues or anything, you can just, physically stop by as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Hadel Patel, Lebanon Family Pharmacy, 1311 West Main. We'll talk to you next time. Have a good one. We'll see you then. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Coleman. Bye-bye.
That is it for a Tuesday, and I hope you'll join us tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a terrific day.